Hi everyone, I'm Mike. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a review on the HTS Plus 4K. I'll offer you guys some insight on how it compares against the HTS Plus Classic, and hopefully help you decide whether it's worth making the price jump just for 4,000 Hz pulling rate. This will also kind of be like a buyer's guide to GWolves because their brand is so confusing, it's literally like they're pranking themselves. This is sort of a follow-up from a full HTS Plus Classic review where I talked for 20 minutes about a computer mouse. So if you're looking for a more specific review of the HTS Plus and everything about the shape, just general features of the mouse, I recommend checking out that video. I'll still gloss over things like how the shape has turned out for me over time and how the build quality is, just my general thoughts of the mouse. But if you're looking for a reason to buy the mouse in the first place, I recommend checking out that video. It's a long-ass video, so just use the timestamps to skip to whatever you care about. Moving on to the actual mouse, let's get the big question out of the way. Is 4K worth it? The answer depends on what you want, right? So if you want the best performance possible, get the 4K. That's all there is to it. I don't say this to shame anyone if they don't choose the 4K. What you choose to do with your money is entirely up to you. But this mouse is spectacular regardless of which version you settle with. You seriously can't go wrong with any of them. Now, for me personally, I can feel the difference between 4,000 Hz pulling rate and 1,000 Hz. In my experience, movement overall just feels much more responsive, gives you a stronger notion of one-to-one aiming. It just feels a lot more accurate for me. Some claim they feel no difference at all, but whether or not that ends up being true for you, the advantage that 4K has is an objective truth. Most importantly, higher pulling rate will benefit you with much faster response times and less data errors like cursor skipping. So when I miss a shot, I know for sure I'm dog shit and that it's not the mouse. Anyways. If you sit down and use a 4K mouse for a couple of weeks and then drop the pulling rate back down to 1,000, I guarantee you will feel the difference. Personally, what I felt like I got out of higher report rate was more consistency. I felt like I made less mistakes. I felt an overall improvement in my average performance, rather than me turning into a fucking god tier aimer. So overall, that's kind of how I felt 4K benefited me personally. It's not going to be the same for everybody, of course, but that's my personal experience. Moving on, I want to cover the build quality of the mouse. GWolves has top tier build quality, especially in contrast to other small mouse brands. Not a single GWolves mouse newer than the HSK Plus will have side flex. Their new PCB design allows them to support the sidewalls of the mouse with the PCB itself. So that results in a tanky as hell reinforcement to the sides of the mouse. If you want to make the sides flex, you literally have to snap the PCB in half. Good luck snapping fiberglass in half. And Lamzu actually got this idea from GWolves, so anyone saying the Atlantis has amazing build quality, but GWolves sucks, they're probably a hypocrite. Just saying. Only issue with my unit here is I have a minuscule amount of rattling. If I shake it enough, you can probably hear it. It's not noticeable in game. Every other aspect of the mouse is pristine. Moving on to the shape, I still think the shape is fantastic. It's not endgame for me. I think I could potentially aim better with a different type of shape, but this nonetheless has been my main since I took it out the box like 5 months ago. That was with the Classic. Eventually moved on to this. It just feels so consistent and comfortable to me. Even though it may not be exactly what I want in a mouse shape, it's so good. The shape idea prioritizes relaxed claw grip, and it fits my 18 by 10 centimeter hands pretty perfectly in that grip style. It also works great with aggressive claw, but I feel like it's more natural with a relaxed grip style. For me, the buttons are a little high for me to enjoy it for fingertip grip, but it still works great for that. And as for a granddaddy palm grip, I'd recommend hands under about 16 centimeters to make it comfortable if you're a psychopath. Main clicks feel great. The zippy switches have a more muted feedback than like say Kale 8.0s or your typical Omron switches. pre and post travel are minimal, and the switches are definitely spammable due to how fast the rebound is. Side buttons also feel ideal. I don't have any mushiness, and I can't get the buttons stuck in the shell like others have mentioned. Scroll wheel was super tight out of the box, but over time it's sort of broken and feels pretty nice now. The steps are defined and the feedback is smooth. Lastly, I'm going to cover the cons. First con is the battery. Not because it blows up, but the battery life is still ass.
Gotta go to the HQ. Where's
No, my mouse died. If I'm gaming literally the whole day like a degenerate, the mouse lasts about 2 days on a full charge. It's not a problem if you develop a good habit of charging your mouse during downtime, right? But it's certainly a luxury lost not having to worry about that so much. Second con, for some, the mouse might not have stable pulling rate right out of the box. Although this is an issue not so much concerning the functionality of the mouse, you still have to sit down and do some optimizing to your computer or the environment around you even if the issue concerns you. Although it's not very common if it does happen. Last con is, it's micro USB. I can't use the same charging cable for my GWolves HTS Plus 4K as my brand new Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra 256GB in Phantom Black. So to lay things out for you guys, the models to choose from are the Classic, the Ace, which I don't have, and the 4K. Only differences between the three are sensors, slight weight difference, and the Classic has a Compex MCU while the Ace and 4K have a Nordic MCU. So to put it simply, Classic is your budget option, Ace is your high performance but value option, and the 4K is top shelf, top performer, and you pay the price premium for that. My best advice is to base your choice off of how serious you are about the performance. I can't tell you which one is worth it, because I'm not you, and frankly telling somebody whether 4K is worth it or not that's kind of bullshit. I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching. I kind of wanted to keep it short, but I hoped I helped you guys out in some way, shape, or form. Anything that I didn't cover will 100% be in my HTS Plus Classic review. Link for that review video will be down below like I mentioned, as well as the product pages for each version of the HTS Plus. If you do decide to make the smart decision of buying one of these, you can use my coupon code MikeTheKid to get $10 off. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but, you know, a little commission back doesn't hurt, you know? Just buy more mice that I don't need. Once again, thanks everyone. Take care.